Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. So I have a nice, light, refreshing dessert for you. These are lemon and lime, like a little mousse cake kind of thing. Mousse cake, mousse cup, whatever you want to call it. So I hope you stick around and watch me make these and get the recipe. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another tutorial or recipe like this. First thing you're going to want to do is make your crust. This is a no-bake crust because this whole thing is no-bake. So there's another bonus. You don't have to turn your oven on. So you're going to want to have your graham cracker crumbs. If you don't have them already, grind some up. You're going to add those together, your sugar and your melted butter, and get that all mixed up. Next, you're going to get your pan. I used a mini cheesecake pan basically, so it has little metal discs for the bottom so you can pop them out of it's almost like a muffin tin, a little bit smaller. These are about, like, I think 2 inches wide, about a little over an inch deep. They're pretty nice. You can obviously do this in I have 4-inch spring form pans. Can't talk today. I know, surprising. So you can also do that. Obviously you wouldn't have as many servings, but these make little, like, nice bite-sized desserts. I will have a link of where I got this, so you can click that. But so you're going to want to make sure you have your discs in, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to add in your graham cracker. And I just went ahead and used a shot glass to kind of press them down to get them nice and formed in the pan, so they weren't so crumbly. You just want one that has a flat bottom just to press it in. So once you have those all pressed in your pan, go ahead and pop them in your fridge just so they can start hardening up. Then you're going to go ahead and start making your mousse. This is a pretty easy mousse. You're just going to take your heavy cream and your powdered sugar, and you're going to start whipping that up. If you chill your bowl and your whisks, that always makes this process go faster, so that's a nice little tip. You're just going to whip that up until it starts to form pretty stiff peaks. You don't need, like, super stiff peaks, but maybe a little bit more than a medium stiff peak. Once you have that all ready, I divided mine into 2 bowls because I was making lemon and lime. Obviously, if you're just making one flavor, just leave it in the bowl. You don't need to divide it up. I didn't measure these out. I just kind of did a line down the middle and kind of scraped half and half in a bowl. Once you have those separated, you're going to go ahead and add in your lemon and lime curd. And you're just going to gently fold that in. Now for the lemon, I did not add any coloring, but obviously you can see that lime curd and lemon curd have a very similar look. If you've ever looked at lime juice and lemon juice, they're pretty identical. So I didn't add any yellow coloring to the lemon one, but it is something you definitely could do if you want to enhance the yellow a little bit. For the lime, I did add just a little bit of green here. You can see it wasn't quite enough, so I just decided to add a little bit more. Obviously, this is a totally optional step. But again, you're just going to fold it in until all the curd, and if you add coloring in, is all nice and mixed in. You don't want to see any like white striping. So then I go ahead and put those in a piping bag to make it easier to fill in. If you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc bag, and you're going to cut the corner. I did cut slightly larger on these piping bags because I wanted to just fill, not pipe a smaller area. And you're going to go ahead and fill in each cavity till it's to the edge rim. You can go a little bit lower, so once you put the topping on, it's to the top. I decided to go a little bit fuller with these. Obviously, personal preference. You don't even have to put the topping on if you don't want. These are good to enjoy without it as well. So you could basically fill these and stop here, or you can make the topping like I do. So once you have those all filled in, you can give it a little tap. It really doesn't, they're pretty stiff, so they don't really move too much, but you can give it a little tap. Or if you want to take an extra step, you can take a mini spatula and kind of smooth it out to give it a perfectly flat top. Again, not something you need to do. Also, once you have your pan filled up, you're going to pop that in the fridge while you make your whipped topping. Next, you're going to make the whipped topping, and I used the Wilton whipped icing mix. This was perfect because it's nice and light, not overly sweet. It worked perfect on top of this. So it comes in 10-ounce boxes. You really actually only need about a three ounces of it. So take your scale and measure out 3 ounces. I actually only had 3 ounces, so I just poured it directly in. Then all you're going to do is you're going to add your water, and then I like to take it an extra step and add just a little bit of vanilla for a little bit of flavoring, a little extra flavoring. And then you're going to go ahead and whisk this. I use a hand mixer with a whisk attachment that definitely helps speed up the process. You'll want to start out on low for about a minute to get all the powder incorporated so it doesn't fly everywhere. Then after a minute, about a minute, might take less. Then you're going to start increasing your speed slowly to get to like a medium high. Again, this is kind of like when I made the mousse. You just kind of slowly work your speed up. Once you have nice stiff consistency, like a stiff peak will hold, you're good to go. I used a number 12 tip. Unfortunately, I tried to get it so you could see here, but you really can't see the number on there. So a number 12, you can just trim a bag if you want to do this. I just decided to use a tip so there was not any lines, because sometimes when you just trim a piping bag or like a Ziploc bag, it can leave a line. But again, it will work perfectly fine. And then all you're going to do is just go ahead and pipe a swirl on top for those. Or if you want to get fancier, you can use a different tip and get fancier with it. Once you have those, I went ahead and added zest. Added a little lime zest on the limes, a little lemon zest on the lemon ones. Then you can pop these back in the fridge. You're going to want these to chill in the fridge for about an hour just to get them nice and set up firm, because if you're using a tray like this, when you pop them out, you definitely want them to be firm. And I do apologize. I thought I had footage of me popping these out of the tray, but apparently I do not. So if you use a tray like this, you're just going to carefully push up from the bottom. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make these really light and delicious lime and lemon mousse cakes. So if you did, make sure to hit the like button, and also in the comments, make sure to tell me which one of these two flavors you would prefer. Are you team lemon or team lime, or would you be team a different flavor like citrus fruit or a different kind of curd? Let me know in the comments. And as always, live, love, eat sweets.